And good evening and welcome to episode 26 of the Vegan Hour. And tonight I'm joined by Jeff Leech, the vegan bodybuilder, who you may notice is slightly bigger than me. Jeff's a really nice guy. I've had him on the show once before. So as you guys are slowly tuning in, I'm going to be talking about the events and that coming up. But yes, I welcome Jeff back so that those that didn't see him the first time he was on the show will get the opportunity to find out about his online vegan coaching and his personal vegan journey. So tonight it's Vegan Life and the Vegan Hour, presented by Vegan Frothers in the background there and Burleigh Town Storage. And thank you for watching, Chris. We have our first first few people slowly filtering on. Okay, so this is this is Tuesday, November the 8th. I had to think then. We've been laughing so much before we even got going tonight that I haven't really focused too much. But anyway, so let's just read out what's happening this week or this weekend actually, and it's really quite easy because I'm only mentioning two events happening this weekend. On Saturday, the Vegan Life is having another Feed the Earthlings dinner, and at this time it's at Broadbeach at their new store, which is opening on Saturday. So we're going to be there on Saturday, November the 12th for the opening, and that is at 6 p.m. This is in Broadbeach, in Main Place, Broadbeach. So you can get pizza, hot dogs, burgers, chips, etc., etc. So if you're in the area, come and join us and have some of their fantastic vegan fast food. And yeah, so that's 6 p.m. this Saturday, November the 12th. So, and Elle is watching. Hey, Elle, thank you for watching. I knew you'd appear there somewhere. Now on Sunday is the first Brisbane Vegan Markets. Now, how cool is that? There's Brisbane Vegan Markets happening, and yes, and hi, right back to you there, Al. So that's in Boundary Street, West End, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Sunday, the 13th of November. It's going to be held monthly. This is the first time it's on, so let's go and support them and tell them that we want vegan markets. And Chris says g'day, and g'day right back to you, Chris. Excuse me. now also, while I think of it, while I mentioned the Brisbane Vegan Markets, we are having on the Gold Coast the Eco Festival, which is entirely, all the stalls will be vegan. Are you going to be going to that one?
I will be there.
Yeah, that's the following weekend. That's the 19th, Saturday the 19th of November. And that is going to be awesome. That's going to be huge. James Aspey is going to be talking there. Are you making a public appearance, or are you just it's just going to be?
I'll just be enjoying the fruits.
Literally, probably some fruit, and yeah. That's cool. So that's I think officially starts 8 a.m. On Saturday, November the 19th. So I'm going to mention that again next week, and I'll provide links to that. But that's going to be here on the Gold Coast up at Broadwater Parkland. So that's going to be pretty cool. Now, also, while I'm talking about things happening in the next week, we have a competition running, which is you can win by sharing the Vegan Hour onto your page and onto friends' pages, and as I like to say, onto your enemies' pages. A bit of awareness, a bit of education. Maybe share it on some future presidents of America's pages or something. But you can win this competition. Now, what you can win is two excellent books written by Scott Matthias from Go Vegan Deli in Noosa, and Elle says that's a cool shirt. That is a cool shirt, the Prana On shirt. And I'll just segue there. We actually will have Billy Simmons in December on the show from Prana On. So Yes, yeah, and we'll get to find out all about Prana On, and we'll get to find out about Billy's vegan journey as well. So looking forward to that, and that's receiving a few little responses. So, and Hannah is watching. Thank you for watching, Hannah. Woohoo! So back to what I was saying. So the competition we've got running at the moment, which I'm giving away next week, is 2 books from Scott Matthias. It's Let's Eat Raw and Raw Vegan Meals. If you're in Noosa, if you're passing through Noosa, drop into his Go Vegan Deli and sample the delights of the amazing, full of flavour food. Have you had? You been there to Go Vegan Deli in Noosa? You haven't.
I don't get up there very often. I'll have to make a trip.
You're too busy fighting fires, literally, because that is one of the things you do.
It is.
Yeah. Mm. So, and Kalinka has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Kalinka. Okay, so tonight on episode 26. Jeff Leech is with me. Last time he was with me, we had some technical difficulties, and so you really didn't get the opportunity to present yourself particularly well, and I felt pretty bad about it. I was recording it on YouTube, and that didn't work. the YouTube recording didn't work, so I wasn't able to share it. The live stream glitched, and it was like, oh, come on. You know, it was just one of those things. It was one of those things. So welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you back on the show.
Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I'll be back. So seeing as I'm assuming that some people don't know anything about you, it's hard to believe. Potentially. It's hard to believe that people may not know about you. But let's just start with you, and then we'll move on to what you actually do and what you can offer people, right?
Sure.
So so Jeff Leech, the vegan bodybuilder. let's find out a little bit about Jeff and his journey. So what would you like to share?
Wow, there's lots.
Well, let's go back to you've been vegan how long now? 3 years, is it?
Just over 2 years.
Just over 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a mere pup.
That's right.
And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but check out the guns. Now
we were comparing before the show.
You saw the photo we did before. Yeah, I thought let's have a little bit of fun, and let's see if we can just make it emphasise the difference in size between myself, who has to ride 1 million kilometres every weekend just to try and stay slightly fit, and you. I mean, how do you stay this fit?
Just work, I guess. You got to keep
You've
going,
keep it up on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think consistency is the key.
Okay.
I guess with anything, practice makes perfect.
Yes.
And being consistent gets the result that you're after.
To get to this size, to become this big physically, you've had to work at it for years, haven't you?
Yeah. The first time I used to do team sports when I was younger, and then I started doing shift work, and I could no longer play team sports as easily. Mm-hmm. If you don't make training, you don't get to play those sort of things.
Funny how that works. I just don't. Anyway,
I was never allowed to be the princess and just rock up and get to play the game without training.
I bet they let you do it now though. They go, yeah, you're fine. You can come in.
Yeah. So I transitioned into going to the gym because it was something I could do at any time.
At any time, yeah.
And I could do it by myself. So that's how I started doing that. The first time I went to the gym, I was 73 kilos.
Okay.
That was 11 years ago.
Okay.
I'm now 105.
I'd actually like to see the photos of when you were 73.
I have some of those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh man, we need to put them up. So you were about my size.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Start somewhere, Harry.
No way. Well, I'm 64 kilos at the moment, so you weren't much. You didn't have much more weight on you than me.
No,
but I mean, you're slightly taller. Maybe a centimetre or two.
Yeah.
So you were actually.
Well, it's just a little bit. Look, you can see.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Look, we're nearly the same height. I mean, it's negligible. I nearly poked you in the eye with a pen. I'm getting rid of that. And Hannah says, I'll dob those pics in if you want. Yeah, do it. And Stephen from Flower of Life Bakery has joined us and is watching. Thank you, Stephen, for joining us. And a big shout out to Flower of Life Bakery. Have you been to Flower of Life?
I have.
Yes? What
delicious.
do you reckon? Oh yeah, delicious.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single person that that would disagree that it's delicious. And Steve says, hi guys and everyone else. And Elle says, Harry, you could be the next big vegan bodybuilder.
Yes.
Well, there you go. I'll have to be, is it right? I'll have to be your protege, is that right?
Yeah, yeah,
There
sure.
you go. Okay, we
Take
start.
you on board.
We start tomorrow. I'm quitting my day job. And in about 50 years, I'll look like this.
No, it's not 50 years.
What? It'll be longer.
No, we'll get you there.
All right, this is good. This is, yeah. Look out, ladies. Woohoo! Okay, so, yeah. So Flower of Life Bakery. Yeah, big shout out to Flower of Life Bakery and to Stephen who's just doing an amazing job up there. And everybody loves your products there, Stephen. They're fantastic. And thank you also for the giveaway that we did last week. So yeah, awesome. Okay, so for 11 years, back to your story. So for 11 years, you were working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess in the early days, like there wasn't a big change first up. It took a while before there was a change. Is it?
You get some good results initially,
right? Yeah.
Just because if you haven't trained weights before, it puts the body under quite a lot of stress. So it'll adapt quickly in those initial stages, but then the progress slows down.
Yes.
People typically refer to it as a plateau.
Yes.
So then you need to start doing different things to keep getting results.
Some people might be happy with that plateau though. They might they might feel quite fit. They're happy with the way they're looking. You know, they're knocking back members of the opposite sex with a stick. So, because I'm covering both guys and girls training here. You see. So, so they might be like, okay, we're happy to sort of stay at this level.
Yep.
Right? But okay, if you plateau, how do you push past that point? Is there a technique? Is there a strategy?
Yeah, well, there's a few different things that people will talk about in the fitness industry all the time, and they're kind of cliches to a certain extent, but they always talk about progressive overload. So the idea of that concept isn't just continuing to add more weight, because obviously you get to a point where that's no longer viable for your joints and all that sort of stuff.
It's physically impossible.
Yeah, so you have to come up with other different intensity techniques. You start changing the way that you're lifting things, the order that you do things in. There's a whole heap of stuff you can do. The time that you take to lift something.
Okay, yeah. But what about? I always think about. I mean, I've got a little home gym. Yep. You know, it's compared to what you're used to, it's embarrassing. You know, but it helps keep me sort of slightly fit. But how do you push past the tiredness of the muscles? You know, like you've worked the muscles and then you're like, for instance, I'm thinking for me personally, I've started doing yoga and that actually knocked me around.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I couldn't believe how
I struggle with it too.
You struggle with it too, yeah. So you do yoga as well?
Yes. Yeah, I try to.
And it's
not
really
enough,
it's an eye opener, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you could be well, somebody said to me the other day, they said, because I do a lot of cycling, right? They said the problem is that's shortening your muscles when you're cycling. And you start doing yoga and you're stretching it, and you suddenly realise that your muscles aren't flexible, you know, and it's like you've been doing one type of training, I guess, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right.
So going back to the bodybuilding, you have to mix up the training, is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
All the time.
So
changing, like they talk about periodization as well. So you go through phases where you might lift really heavy for a certain period of time and then change that to lifting more weight, but not necessarily as heavy.
Right.
You might change then to lifting at a different intensity in terms of speed or endurance.
Okay.
So you can go through all those different phases.
So how do you know, to know how to do this, do you need to be working with a professional, somebody that recognises where you're at? Or can you recognise it, like not say you, but say the person on the street, the person watching, you know, can they sort of recognise it in themselves that they need to change?
Well, typically you're like, you know when you're sort of stuck. You're at a point where not much is changing.
Yeah, okay.
You've got to start doing something different. Most people are aware of when that is in themselves, but to know what to do that's probably where you need to either do a lot of research yourself.
Yes.
Or start speaking to people who have already
or consult
had
someone
that
like
knowledge.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. See, and this is where you come in because you've got this experience. You're a very shining example of it. Elle says yoga is awesome, which it is. Yes.
It is.
I've always thought it was. I just had to get over that reluctance to actually go and try it more than once.
If you're anything like me, I don't like to be bad at things. So, so I rock up at yoga, and it's embarrassing from the minute you lay down.
Look, I'm gonna put on public record that when it comes to yoga, I suck. you think no, I suck. I went, the first couple of classes, and I'm thinking, I've embarrassed myself so much here. I've just got to accept it, But then I thought, okay, I'm going to set myself a challenge. I want to go from I suck at yoga to I'm pathetic.
Yeah. I'm a little bit better than I was.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think of other ways of describing it. I was like, I suck to I'm almost useless.
I'm not quite as sucky.
But I'm not quite as sucky. But I've done six classes and I'm actually starting to get it a little bit. So, okay, so we've got a question come through from Josie. Says, hi guys, was just wondering which vegan bodybuilders you look up to. Good question, Josie. Well, I literally looked up to this guy because if you saw the photo before, I'm like,
there's a lot of quite successful vegan bodybuilders now, which is fantastic. Just proofs in the pudding that you don't need to do what was traditionally always thought you had to do.
That's right. Yes.
Even when you look at comments that Arnold Schwarzenegger's come out lately, and he's all pro eating less meat and trying to encourage others to do the same. So
it's amazing, isn't it?
Infiltrating the fitness industry because people like myself, like as I was learning about nutrition and getting more and more education in that area, you get to a point where you can't ignore the facts anymore. You just sort of, it gets to it, you get a critical mass of information in your head and that you just tip over the scales.
That's good.
Have some people.
So do you have some role models that have been influential in your journey?
Yeah, a couple of just close friends of mine. And then there's athletes like, I don't know if you know him, but Tory Washington.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's incredible athlete.
Tory Washington, is he the one that isn't quite young? Is he the one?
No, he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
And he's actually got, I'm not sure how many federations, but he's got a pro card in a whole range of federations. So not just one sort of industry.
Yeah.
So he's a very impressive athlete. And I think he might be a lifetime vegan.
Really?
I think so.
That actually, yes. Possibly somebody watching might be able to comment on whether Tory Washington is a lifetime vegan, but it does sort of ring a bell as a possibility.
I think so. And his Rethink Protein t-shirts. I don't really wear slogan t-shirts.
No, that I can see.
But well, that's not a slogan.
No.
But if I was going to wear a slogan shirt, I think that's the one that I would wear. Because it's not just making a statement, it's making you think about it.
Yeah,
rethink protein.
Rethink protein.
Yeah.
It's as good as vegan frothers.
It is.
I
do wear those shirts.
Yeah. Well, I've now got vegan frothers sticker on my car, and I should have brought the cap tonight. I forgot to bring the cap. I've got a pride of place.
Get a bandana.
Okay. To my sponsors out there, vegan frothers, Shane, I need a bandana, thanks. So if you're watching, please send me one. Leave it here in the office, and I'll grab it next week. Tory is he's yay for the most part.
It's rough stuff. I live off the land. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Live off the land. Yeah.
Live off the land. So and so you're saying Sankar is saying that for the most part he's been vegan by the sounds of it. That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm getting from that. Yeah.
So we've got in Australia, we've got Billy Simmons.
Who
was at the World Vegan.
Day. And he was world champion in his.
He was.
His
What was his title? Do you remember? Wasn't he Mr. Natural Universe?
He was Mr. Natural Universe.
Mr. Natural Universe.
Yeah.
He was vegan then. As a vegan. That was. Do you remember what year that was? Because I'm never quite sure about that.
Don't quote me, but I think it was 2009.
Yes, yes, because I heard that. Yes, I heard that mentioned.
Could have been a little later,
yes.
but I'm not sure.
No. I think you're right. I did hear that mentioned. So, and again, he'll be on the show in December. But he's like you. He's a very genuine, down to earth person.
He's an impressive person.
He is an impressive person, and actually we'll find out more about his journey when he's on. But he goes to schools and educates, and that, which is fantastic. So 2011, Chris says. I actually thought it was. No, Hannah says 2008 or 2009. Okay, somewhere this century. We'll find. You'll have to wait till December when I ask Billy in person when he's on the show.
Sometime in the last 8 years.
Sometime in the last 8 years. Billy's on December the 13th from memory. I think I've got that date right. I haven't got my calendar in front of me. So, but I think that's right. So, Elle says 2009. Elle. My money's on Elle, and I'm going back. That's right, because that's what I've heard. 2009 rings a bell, and I think Elle would know. So yeah,
potentially.
Now there's a vegan bodybuilder in America that I've seen. He's often in that. Where's that? In California, they have that where all the bodybuilders go on that beach there or something.
Venice.
Venice Beach. Yeah. There's a guy who I often see pictures of him there, and he's quite well known, and he's. I'm trying to think of his name.
Yeah, I'm not sure who you mean.
No, I'm not sure who I mean either. But if somebody will pop up a name and straight away, and Stephen said mine too. I'm not sure what that was in relation to, but
maybe they live off the land.
Yes,
I'd think that's what it was.
You might have to.
But we should live off the land.
We should.
We should all go back to that.
We should. You're a great. A great believer in that?
Yeah, definitely.
Good, okay. So you went vegan, and thanks for joining us, Catalina. Thank you for watching. So you went vegan 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you already, at that stage, you already had developed yourself through the old methods.
Yeah.
And then your awareness of, compassionate awareness came through, and you went, okay, I can no longer support what I'm doing to the animals and also to my health.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
both of those.
Both of them.
And I think when people really study nutrition and really look at nutrition as health and the impacts that can have, when you start looking at food as medicine instead of just something to shove in your mouth, well then you start to really question all the traditional thoughts.
Yes, and you realise that a lot of them come from industry trying to promote something that wasn't good for you in the first place, and come from just unchallenged beliefs and stuff like that, just repeated through generations.
Yeah. Well, if you repeat something enough, it'll get believed eventually. So I think that's what they're still trying to do now is repeat their message.
That's how the government works.
Yeah.
And Steve says what he meant was his money was on Elle, saying that 2009 was Billy Simmons was Mr. Natural Universe. Yes. Yeah. And then we've also had, talking about bodybuilders and all that, we've had that German fella who lifted the most weight or something last year or whatever, vegan German guy. Yes. Do you remember his name? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes. I do. And then there was a few in the Olympics.
I'm really bad with names.
I can't remember names.
Whoops. You guys just fill in the blanks.
There's actually quite a few MMA fighters now.
Yeah.
But recent winner in the UFC.
Oh yeah. A
vegan athlete.
Yeah. So it's no longer such a rare thing, We also have, of course, the women doing it too. We had Chrissy Calvello on the show, and who has, in the way that she competes, has won a lot of her stuff, or is always won or placed. So in the type of competitions she
quite a lot of. I think there's more women than men currently. As vegans,
is that true?
In bodybuilding,
which is probably just the fact that women are generally more compassionate and more able to change that, where the men are still on the stereotype of you need the dead corpse or whatever,
Particularly in the States, like I've seen, there's a lot of vegan women athletes in the States, which is cool.
So how do you go up against? So you're in the gym or whatever, or you're competing against your fellow men who haven't grown that awareness yet. How do you meet a bit of resistance? You get a bit of bullying? Do you get a bit of challenge? What do you find?
You get a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like I think or we were mentioning it earlier about social media.
Yes.
As people will throw you some advice that they see as relevant, whether that's relevant or not. That's, a reflection on what they think. But yeah, you get all sorts of like positive comments all the way through to the opposite, like the absolute extreme on,
Now, you're active on social media as a vegan fitness coach?
Yeah, so
You have
I usually write plant-based on my my Instagram.
Okay, cool.
And I think on Facebook as well, it might say plant-based.
Yeah.
But the reason I do that is because I get a lot of clients who are transitioning.
Yes.
So, and I sort of, I help them through that process, which is good. And then I get people who haven't made the transition yet, and people who have already made it. So I get a broad spectrum of people, and it's great. I get the opportunity to help people with that don't know how to do it. They're not sure. They want to go vegan, but they're like, I don't know how to make that work from a fitness point of view. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there like that. That's the information that they want.
Okay, so how do people contact you, and what services do you offer? So let's go back a sec. So what services do you offer? Like for myself, puny Harry Bowman.
So hard on yourself, Harry.
64 kilograms dripping wet, or something.
You train for different outcomes.
So how does poor puny Harry, who's so hard on himself, Patrick, Patrick with the unpronounceable surname is the vegan strongman. Yes. You actually win a prize if you can pronounce his surname. Bohemian.
That'll do. Sounds great.
It's Patrick. So, what services do you offer to the person watching? Or to puny Harry Bowman.
Puny Harry.
I gotta play this one. And Brett from last week is watching. Thank you for joining us, Brett.
So I've got a website.
I'll just do a shout out. Sorry, Brett is from allvegan.com.au. He was on last week. I now have his sticker on my car and on my PA's car and on my scooter. And yes, if you haven't seen last week's episode, you can see it on YouTube. And Brett is we talk about the products that Brett has from All Vegan, 100% vegan products delivered to your door. And so you can check it out on episode 25 last week. So, okay, sorry.
No, that's quite all right.
Back to you, my good man.
Now, what was I saying?
No. We're talking about what Jeff Leech, online vegan fitness coach, offers.
Yeah, so I've got a website. It's jeffleechfit.com.
So we're going to keep it simple. It was very simple. I'm going to type.
I wanted it to be just jeffleech.com, but that's already taken. Someone who's looking for work in Canada, I've asked.
There's another Jeff Leech.
There is.
Wow. Okay. Let's see if I can bring up live stream, and then I can type So
on that website, I have just some basic information, a bit of introduction to myself, who I am, a little blurb about my journey, only very small. But on there, I have 3 products currently for sale. They're all-inclusive packages.
Okay.
So there's a beginner's pack, an intermediate pack, and an advanced pack. And that sort of suits everyone, like that. I set it up that way, so that, funnily enough.
Is it Jeff Leech? What was it? Sorry.
Fit.
Okay.
Yep.
.com.
Okay.
I've just put Jeff's. There we go. I've just put his website up so you can find out more about him. Who's that puny guy in the photos?
Oh, that's one of my
your clients.
Sam,
Excellent.
Who got fantastic. Well, it's amazing. I even get impressed myself when I see my clients. they send me their update pics.
Okay, this is good. We'll talk about him in a second, who's on your website there. So you've got 3 packages at the moment.
Yeah.
So what was
so there's a beginner's pack, intermediate, and then an advanced pack.
Okay, so the beginner's pack we call the Harry Bowman pack.
The Harry Bowman pack.
And Marietta just said she's still waiting to find out what your services are. That's what we're talking about now. We're right onto it, Marietta. We're having too much fun to talk about.
Too much chatting.
Right.
Yeah, cool. So the beginners pack, that's well, all three of the packs, they're quite a big document, 100 plus pages.
Wow.
And the idea there is that you get pretty much everything that you need, like whether you know a lot or whether you know a little. You get the pack, you'll be able to go. You get email support at any point in time, so any questions, whatever, they can.
So when you say you get the pack, is this a hard copy? Is this an online thing?
It comes through electronically, which you can then print off.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a nutrition component which goes through a whole host of information about nutrition. So right back to macros and micros, understanding what they are, why you need them, what ones we should focus on for training, through all the way through to a shopping list, a guide for surviving the supermarket, some hints on eating out with friends, what you can do to make that an easier experience if you're trying to watch what you eat.
And if your friends maybe aren't plant-based as well, maybe, or
correct.
I know you mentioned micros and macros there, or macros and micros, whichever way you want to say it. But I remember the last time you were on the show, you have quite a lot of information about that. We were talking about that. I found it quite interesting, which we can get back to. So how to survive shopping, how to survive eating out at restaurants, and what else are you covering there?
So also in there, there's a recipe for seitan, which is my favourite food.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in Australia at the moment, it's really difficult to buy. So if you want it, you kind of got to make it yourself.
Okay.
So this is the recipe that's in there is the easiest one that I've found, one that I use. And I love that.
So
it's good stuff.
But
I don't know.
You have that every day?
Have it often.
Often.
You've had it before?
I have, but I've never made it myself, or I've never even bought it myself. I've only had it when it's been at a restaurant or an event or something like that.
So all sorts of stuff in. That's the nutrition component, and then after that there are meal plans. So you just pick male, female, vegan, or not. Don't exclude people, because I've got people who are still working up to. So I've got people who, anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the nutrition component, and then there's the training section, and that essentially the same sort of process where it talks about the basics of training, different techniques, what this is, what that is, different exercises, rest and recovery, stretching, just general information like that, a bit of a supplement guide as well. And then from there, they get the training pack. So for a beginner's pack, it's 8 weeks.
Right.
The intermediate is 8 weeks as well. Different exercises, obviously, and a little bit different along the way.
Now, these are exercises that they're going to do at the gym, is that right? They're not necessarily going to be able to do them at home, or?
You could do them at home, I have had a client who did all home stuff, so we just came up with different ways to do certain things. It's not the easiest thing in the world, because the idea is that we're going to start introducing load-bearing activity. So that you can get the results from those. So, it's not ideal, but you can do it. If there's a little bit of equipment. Away you go, you can do it at home. But and then the total body transformation, which is the advanced pack, that's a 12-week pack instead of 8. Now, I attach a week span to all of those packs. Not many people will just do that amount of time, and they're not designed to be. You'll do it for 8 weeks and then you go back to normal life. Like, the idea is it'll set you up with enough information along the way so you can continue on with the health journey afterwards.
We have a question there, which I'm just going to refresh so I can read all the question down here on the computer. It's from Sankar. What is your take on soy? And let me just read the rest of it down here. And its effect on testosterone.
So it's a common question. It's almost as common as where do you get your protein? They're probably the top 2 questions, which is fine. And that's a result. It demonstrates, how deep in the psyche of our society that traditional theory is that meat is a better protein, and that you shouldn't have soy. There's a lot of conflicting information in regards to soy. I find I get a lot of information from nutritionfacts.org.
The American site.
He's quite good, and he actually links to all of the research that he's getting the information from.
I might even just type that in, nutritionfacts.org, for people that aren't familiar with it.
So he does. There's a few other vegan resource websites out there for training as well, which will give you some good tips for nutrition. But yeah, off veganfacts.org, you'll get the links to the research as well. So if you want to know more, you can go and find out yourself. Personally, from what I understand and what I know about soy, the issues that traditionally people were talking about are nowhere near as bad as what they thought they were. So there's a difference between a phytoestrogen, which is the estrogen found in plants, and estrogen, which is found in humans and animal-related products. And even though they work similarly in the body, it's not the same.
Right, yes, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, so what they're finding now is that it can actually have, funnily enough, the reverse effect of what we've been taught traditionally. And a lot of research originally on soy and why soy is bad came from people who had a vested interest in the meat industry.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
What a surprise. So your take is that you believe it's quite good for you, I guess, by the sounds of it?
Yeah. And even to the point where a lot of research now is saying that soy has a positive impact on hormones in the body rather than a negative.
Obviously, also when we talk about soy, we usually like to single out GMO and make sure it's not.
Yes, that's important. Yes, so it needs to be organic, non-GMO soy.
Organic, non-GMO. Yep. What about the difference between fermented and non-fermented? Like you know, if you're talking about tempeh and miso and that, is that better?
Having the food fermented is better for a lot of reasons. It does help with digestion and your gut health. And fermented foods are really good for that. Obviously, having a healthy gut is the key to being a healthy person. So there's a lot of research around fermented foods, and tempeh itself, you can get lots that aren't soy as well. Like my favourite tempeh is fava bean.
Oh, okay, okay.
But there's a lot of alternatives. Actually, if you don't.
Is that hard to get, fava bean tempeh? Is it like you get it in the health food stores? Or?
You can, yeah. It's from. The one I use is from Byron Bay.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, in all the health food stores, you can get that one.
Harry's going out tomorrow to get some fava bean tempeh and see what that's like. I can't remember if I had it or not. And thank you for joining us, Ethan, and all the other people that have joined us that I haven't said thank you for watching, because there's a few of you. So thank you for watching. Been reading a lot of conflicting info, so that's referring back to soy, and that is true. There's lots of conflicting info. Same here. Same here. Well, I've discussed soy on the show before, and I've read a lot of conflicting info. And in the end, I've even written about it. In the end, I actually decided to err on the side of caution and just avoid it as much as possible.
I still have it, but I make sure it's organic and non-GMO, which is. What you've said is wheat. I do the same with that too.
Yes, Well, wheat's an interesting. So, do you tend to avoid wheat fairly regularly and just?
Yeah, I don't have a lot. But a lot of the problems. I don't know how much people know, but a lot of the problems come from the way that we choose to grow and harvest the wheat rather than the wheat itself.
And the way that it's been modified over the last 50 odd years or something.
That's right.
Yes. And so we have a product now that apparently is different in its strain or whatever to what it was, and that affects its digestibility and stuff like that. That's what you've read?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah. Ethan says yo, so I say double yo, right back to you. And so you've got these packages. So in 8 weeks, puny Harry Bowman can become like this. Wow, how's that? Tune in 2 months' time, and and I'll be sitting there.
What we do is we always strive for progress, not perfection, because
that's good.
Perfection's always in the eye of the beholder, and
that's
as an individual,
that's true.
We never get there.
That's true as well.
Because we change along the way too. What we want and what our goals are.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and what our ideals might be. Yeah, and new realizations come along, and we change what we think is important.
Yeah. So that's a big part of what. So in the packs as well, like apart from just nutrition and training, there's also some stuff on mental work. Beliefs and all of that sort of
Excellent.
stuff. Excellent.
So maybe mindset. Mindset and maybe some affirmation type thing.
I don't really have any affirmations.
No?
I've got
just positive thinking and setting goals and stuff like that.
And how to stay positive and the way that when you're training in the gym and it gets hard, you need to be able to draw on something to keep you going.
I still want to go back to the. Oh, Lance says, how long have you been training for? Looking solid. I don't know. He was looking a bit washed out to me.
Well, I've been competing in sport all my life, but bodybuilding or weights. I won't say body. It wasn't bodybuilding initially. It was just weight training for myself. But yeah, 11 years in the gym.
Yeah. And when you, I'll go back to a question I wanted to ask you earlier. When you transitioned to being vegan a couple of years ago, what was the difference you noticed with your strength training and all that? Did you notice a difference?
Yeah, there was a big difference.
Yeah.
I just jumped from medium one day to vegan the next, so that has its own problems along the way. At initial stages of digestive, I won't say distress, but just you know, your gut health is very different when you consume animal products. So you're trying to transition from that. The gut health needs to change, and the microbiome needs to change to deal with that. That was the initial stages. But apart from that, the best benefit of it, definitely more energy, more consistent energy. Instead of being up and down all over the place, energy is definitely more consistent at a high level. So that was probably the best impact. But strength-wise, didn't lose anything I gained. And in terms of muscle mass, I'm still gaining now. Have been over the last 2 years. Muscle mass continues to grow.
Wow.
And you know, it just, people thought, including myself, I'm probably going to lose a bit of muscle mass, but I haven't. I've continued to grow over that 2 years.
Wow, that's not bad. Join us. Thank you for joining us, Elaine. We do seem to be a little bit, we're not pixelated, but it just seems to be a little bit jumpy. So hopefully it'll just fix itself up again in a couple of minutes. So yeah, we've done well so far. Better than the last time. Last time we had a few reboots of the phone at the so anyway. Okay? So Stephen asked. Thank you for joining us, Stephen. In a few words, what's some good food for energy? That's smooth again. See, it's good.
Nice. Back on track.
So, what's some good food for energy?
Well, it depends what you're doing. I personally, I like to use fruit for a pre-workout now. So, I'll eat anything I can find, anything that I've got on the food I got from the market. But usually, watermelon's great for a pre-workout. It's full of electrolytes, full of water. Bit of those quick carbohydrates to go and train with. Perfect snack.
Watermelon. Who would have thought of that?
330-itis. Yeah. You don't need what they're selling you on the TV. You need some watermelon.
Watermelon. Wow, that's amazing.
But yeah, blueberries, all sorts of fruit. Blueberries are great because they actually help balance blood sugars. So if you consume some blueberries with other fruit, it'll actually help keep the blood sugar levels stable. So blueberries, even though they're sugar as well,
there's tonight's top tip. Consume blueberries with your other fruits. Yeah. Wow. I'm learning quite a bit here. This is cool. This is good.
They're great.
So watermelon as a pre-workout. And that helps with electrolytes. Yeah,
it helps electrolytes and fluid.
Fluid,
and obviously sugar, carbohydrates in there too. Fructose.
So what about
it's delicious.
Wait, it is. What about rock melon? I've heard rock melon's a little bit hard to digest or something though. So I only mention it because personally I love rock melon. So I'm just wondering if we can work that in there somewhere in Harry's 8-week transformation.
Well, I'm a Victorian originally, so I call it cantaloupe. But
cantaloupe. I mean, seriously.
Delicious as well.
Yes,
and similar. Very similar.
You could have that pre-workout?
You could for sure. You can have any fruit, really.
Okay.
I know I used to always have bananas when I was cycling when I was younger.
Yes, So you used to cycle?
For that. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
800 k's a week.
Watermelon. What do you say? 800 k's a week?
Yeah. We were maniacs.
I'm gonna give up my cycling because I've been outdone. Lance says love them plant gains, and Hannah says watermelon aids recovery too.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, electrolytes.
Electrolytes. So for recovery foods after the workout, watermelon's good. Fruits again.
Yeah, fruits can be good afterwards.
But as far as foods for energy, they're not going to be super
No,
energy
it's
foods.
not. It's not long term.
No, it's not long term
release because they're obviously.
What would you, to answer Stephen's questions about energy foods, what would you recommend?
Well, maybe I'll just give you a little list of the things that I eat every day. I think they're all really good energy-wise.
Yes, yeah. What's a Jeff Leech day? Look like.
Well, I always have fruit in the morning. That's how I start. Some days I do intermittent fasting, so that fruit will be consumed quite late in the morning.
Like a very late breakfast?
Yeah,
like a late brunch?
Or early morning if I'm going to train. Early in the morning, I usually have my fruit, and that's all I have before I go and train.
And would you have a few different types of fruit? Would you mix it up, or would you just keep it a mono meal? Or?
No, I normally try and have a few different types of fruit, whatever I've got on hand. I'm huge on passion fruit at the moment. Love that.
Yeah,
they're really nice.
If you mix too many fruits, you don't find that affects your digestion?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
No, yeah. I don't find any problems with that. I'm sure some people do.
Yeah,
everyone's different.
I just find mixing pear and apple, like having a couple of apples and like morning break, I'll have a couple of apples and at work and a pear or two. I usually find that for me personally is not a great combination.
Yeah, we'll throw some blueberries in there.
And that's tonight's top tip again.
Yeah. What else do I eat during the day? Like I'll have smoothies. Like best thing for those, frozen banana.
Yes.
So once your bananas start to go a little bit too spotty, we like spots on our bananas, but not too many.
That's right. Put them in the freezer.
Cut them up, put them in the freezer, add those to your smoothie.
Yeah.
Greens, anything you want in there, really.
And you don't mind combining your fruits and your greens? Do you combine them, or do you keep them separate?
Well, they're
food combination.
To have vitamin C with products that contain iron will aid digestion of the iron, absorption.
Yes.
Sorry, not digestion of the iron.
Absorption,
so having fruit with greens is actually a good thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So for all you food combiners out there, because I know that can be frowned upon, combining.
Yeah.
So, and Lizette is watching. Thank you for joining us. And Mitchie, thank you for watching. And and a shout out to Yana who joined us. I forgot. Sorry, in the middle of questions too. So thank you everyone who is watching. And then my normal meals that I eat throughout the day, depending on how many calories I want to eat that day, depends on how many meals I have. So it could be fruit and then a smoothie and then 3 meals or maybe 4 meals, just depends on the day. I thought you meant, I thought for a second then I thought you meant 3 meals and in the one sitting.
No, all spread out. I try and have sort of an even amount of calories consumed with each meal and spread out through the day.
So what would those meals consist of?
Yeah, so usually I have any veggies that are on hand. I love peas. Eat a lot of peas.
I need to eat more peas.
Yeah, peas, broccoli, asparagus, capsicum, whatever veggies there are, carrot, anything.
Yeah. Steam them.
Steam.
Yeah, steam them. Yeah.
Steam those, and then at the moment I have a bit of white basmati rice as well. Yeah. Now, white basmati rice, interestingly, is better for you than brown, and it's the lowest lowest GI, highest GL out of all of the rice. So you're getting the least amount of sugar and the slowest release of that sugar. So
the lowest
white basmati is the rice to
White
have.
basmati?
Yeah, better than brown.
Wow. And Mitchie says that Ethan Patterson has you up on his wall on a calendar. We gave away a calendar actually with Jeff on it. It was about a month ago or something. I think. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So that's on somebody else's wall. Actually, it hasn't reached her wall yet because Lucy won it, and I haven't caught up with her yet to give it to her. But I will next weekend.
They pop up everywhere. Those calendars.
Those calendars, yeah. Because for those that don't know, Jeff is also a fireman because he wants to put this to good use. So he goes out there and picks up cars and small aeroplanes and they're burning and he carries them away with people inside them going, help us, help us.
I saw the coconut oil. Excuses.
And Sankar says, cheers, he didn't know that white basmati is better than brown rice.
Yeah. I didn't know for a long time.
Better than brown rice or better than brown basmati?
Both.
Both.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either, and thank you for joining us, Brendan, who is also watching. So there's a few things I've learned there.
Tip.
I've learned about watermelon. Learned about what was the other top tip?
Blueberries.
Blueberries, watermelon, blueberries, and the white basmati. So that was.
Yeah.
See the information you guys get. Isn't that fantastic? all brought to you by the Vegan Hour. So your meal. What about when you want to mix it up and you don't want to just stick with your veggies and because that actually is my main meal, veggies and rice.
I'll throw in a protein source as well along the way.
So you're going to throw in some beans,
tempeh or beans.
Yep. Tempeh. Yeah.
Sometimes I have tofu, as we mentioned before.
Yes.
Non-GMO organic tofu.
Yep. What about quinoa or lentils or anything like that?
Yes, brown lentils. I have a lot of brown lentils.
Yes.
And having been to Nepal and India and Tibet, I make a mean dal.
Oh, right. Okay. tell me when you're making the next one. I'll be there.
All right, I'll bring you some for sure.
Yeah. Woo. What about soups? Do you ever do any soups or anything like that? You're not a soup fan.
I like the eating. I like to chew.
Yeah, that's why I like a thick soup.
Soup's gone too quick.
Yeah, true. I know. It's like, okay, that was the entree. Where's the main meal?
Yeah.
You know, it was just so when you eat out, do you sort of let it sort of just let loose a little bit? You know.
It depends. It depends what I'm doing. So if I'm in a phase where I want to lose some body fat, I'll be quite strict on what I'm doing, and I tend to have one big meal a week. That'll be a lot of people call it a cheat meal. We don't like to call it that.
You call it a love. That's a love meal.
I don't call it a love meal.
Oh, why not? Let us share the love.
I call it a refeed because that's exactly what you're doing. You're feeding your body with whatever nutrient you've been depriving it of while you've been dieting. So typically, like when you're trying to lose body fat, you'll cut out carbs. You'll reduce your carbs a little bit. Some people like go the opposite and have like 80% carbohydrates, which I've experimented with, and it does work. But I'm not. You know, everyone's different. I prefer to, if I'm cutting, I'll drop the carbs back a little bit, keep the protein the same, and the fat's the same.
I mean. As a novice to this, how do you keep a really good track on your amount of carbs and that you're getting? I mean,
it can be hard. Yeah. There's a few apps you can use that help you with it. They're not 100% accurate, but MyFitnessPal is one that I use regularly. You can't always trust the info that's in there, so I like to put my own in.
Okay, yep.
I've got all my own meals saved that I like.
Okay, What was that one? MyFitnessPal?
MyFitnessPal, Okay. There are others. That's just the one that I use, but you tend to just learn when you've made something enough, or you get to know that this much, that much rice, that much. You kind of get used to what they are, and if you're making the similar type of meal regularly, then you pretty much know exactly what it is.
Yeah. Now, what about, I was just, MyFitnessPal H-Dog, Hannah says it's MyFitnessPal, that's right. I think I said it right. But thank you, Hannah, and thank you for calling me H-Dog.
Has that stuck? It hasn't, has it?
It just doesn't get used enough around me.
Well, we'll keep using it then.
I can count on friends like you, that's good. So, especially when I've done your 8 or 12 week program and then I really become the H-Dog, and I can wear my cap backwards in that all the time. And anyway, what about I was going to ask you, what about competitions? Do you enter any competitions yourself? Or?
I haven't done one for a little while. I do the firefighters calendar every year, which is...
I should have brought it along.
It's a competition in itself these days. It really is. It's highly competitive. I don't know if anyone has followed it consistently, but the quality just keeps going up and up.
Really?
And up. And there's actually... Well, we should tell everyone. It's going to be on TV on the 3rd of December. A television event. We can
say that now, can't we?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you involved in it?
Yeah. So
you're involved in it as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were involved in it.
Yeah. So
okay. Here we go. I knew somebody else was in. But can I mention her name?
Yeah. Go.
Okay. Well, Chrissy Carvello.
What's she in? Accountant.
Hang on.
We're talking about something different.
We're talking about something. Okay. I didn't say that. Oh boy, I'm not sure if I was meant to release that information.
That's right. I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't know what I'm talking about. What information? I didn't say anyone's name there. Okay.
So I was talking about.
You were talking about the calendar.
The Firefighters calendar has their own TV show on the 3rd of December
I
on Channel
didn't
9.
know about that one.
Yeah.
No, I
So
didn't
that's
know
all
about
about what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. So there's a lot of information
on
about
the 3rd of December?
3rd of December. I'm not sure what time. It's on Channel 9 nationally.
Channel 9,
on the 3rd of December. So keep an eye out for that.
And Mitchie says, get onto it, H doggy. Doggy. And Stephen says, rewind for the last thing I said. Yeah, I'll just cut this out of the YouTube video. I can do that. Actually, tonight's the first time that we've filmed with the YouTube camera mounted almost in the exact same position as the live stream camera, so that we actually look like we're looking at it instead of, looking down off camera sort of thing, which I didn't mind. I thought was artistic, but people said, you're not looking at the camera in YouTube. It's like, okay, I'll try and keep you happy.
Not fans of the look away.
Yeah, the look away. There's a term for it. The look away. It's like blue steel, it's like the look away. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do I can't anyway. It's like the strangle that we did earlier.
Bart Simpson.
So now looking at our time, which has gone rapidly, we've got about 5 minutes left. It has. We've got about 5 minutes left. So let's sum up a little bit here. Jeff's been vegan 2 years. He's been you've been bodybuilding for about 11 years. You've gained in that, Hannah says H-dog is sticking. You've gained, you found it more energy. You were able to achieve more with your bodybuilding by being on a plant-based diet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then also you embraced the whole vegan lifestyle because you realise it's not just a plant-based diet. That's right. You realise there's compassion across all areas. You offer, which I've put the website up there, guys, jeffleechfit.com. You offer packages there for people that want to become fit, want to become maybe not quite as big as you are,
but if that's their goal,
they could do it. How long would it take to become? A couple of years to get at least to get to this stage.
Yeah, well, everyone's different. Some people are just are gifted, and some people people are able to put in more effort than others, just based on their lifestyle or whatever's going on, and maybe that's just what the amount that they want to put in. So everyone, it's very different for everyone. I
did work with a guy who started off quite lean and slim when he first started working with me, and he was only about 17 or something. And then he started hitting the gym, and he's vegetarian, not quite vegan. And within a couple of years, he'd really, changed his shape. It was quite impressive, So, and he's a male model now because they want that. I guess they want that look, and he's in demand, So, so I'm not going to get any male modelling things until I do your.
Hey, you never know.
What was that? Yeah, that's right. And Lorna, thank you for joining us. So, how are we going for time? So, okay, we've got a few minutes left. So, was there anything else you wanted to share with our viewers tonight? If people want to get a hold of you, they can go to your website.
Yep. So, I've made everything just Jeff Leech Fit, so it's easy. So across the board, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
So there's a Jeff Leech Fit on Facebook as well?
Yeah.
So if I go, how am I going to put that? Hannah, can you type that in? Because I'm not even sure how I'm going to type that in. I'm sure there's a way of doing it. Cause
I don't think it,
I don't know if I just type in Jeff Leech Fit if it'll work. Lance says, always good to hear from another vegan lifter. Cheers, guys. But I have another question before you go. Favourite vegan supplements for muscle mass? Good question.
Good question. And we'll throw to the t-shirt.
There's your answer. It always comes back to Prana-On.
Yeah. Yes. I was actually using Prana-On as a supplement before I went vegan.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I didn't do well with the traditional whey approach.
For those that missed me saying it earlier, Billy from Prana-On is on in a month's time in December, so look forward to talking to him and finding out about Prana-On.
Hey, Naomi.
And obviously you know Naomi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we actually go way back.
you guys go way back?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yep. That's cool. That's great. Hey, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what's happening next week on episode 27. I have Guy Fitter with me. How are we going for time? Yeah, we're starting to wind up now. I have Guy Fitter, the author of the book Going the Distance. Now, Guy is vegan, and Going the Distance would sound to you to be a book like maybe what do you think would be a book about? Because I'm deliberately not saying what it's about.
It could be anything.
That's right, it could be. So you'll have to tune in next week and find out. This could be a lot of fun. And Hannah's put... How
much to
paid to be in UPA. So Guy Fitter from Going the Distance is going to be on next week. You'll have to find out what that's about. It'll be interesting. Yes, it'll be very interesting. I'm actually very curious to talk to him because it may have to be a slightly R-rated show. I'm not sure. So you'll have to tune in and find out about that on episode 27 next week. Thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show, my man.
Thanks for having me.
And yes, there's some links there for how you can get hold of Jeff. And you can ask us any more questions even after this live stream is finished because I can answer it on my page. Also, the YouTube version of this will be up later in the week. And I think that's covered it all. So thank you to everyone that has joined tonight, that has participated, that has asked questions. And if you've got any more questions that you want to ask later on, by all means, ask Jeff directly or put it on the timeline. I'll be back next week on Tuesday, November the 15th with Guy Fitter for episode 27. So guys, remember to choose compassion over cruelty, to live vegan and save lives. And thank you once again for joining us tonight in the Vegan Hour. And we're getting lots of likes, and that's really wonderful. That's fantastic. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to get my man to press the finish button in a second whilst I say ahimsa. So thank you, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
See ya.